to stay here. Hey, and we are live, Sharon.
Isn't this amazing?
Hey, how you doing tonight?
We are taking the journey together.
Exactly. This is the first chance that we get a chance to do our program live right here on this great channel ATR. We are happy and feel blessed that our program that we did actually called "Taking the Journey Together." We've been doing for almost a year and a half on where was it at the other place?
On WRUU. And that was like the revision of taking the journey that you started way before we even knew each other. And
Exactly.
it has traveled from several places. It's gone from uh, Kansas City, Missouri to Denver, Colorado to Kansas City, Missouri, and to Savannah. And so then it went on hiatus.
Yep, it
And
did.
we came back as taking the journey together on WRUU, and now here we are taking the journey together on ATR.
ATR.
Yes.
So many people who have listened to us on the radio station has asked, "What do they look like?" We hear what they sound like. What do they look like? Well, we're
Now
gonna
you know.
we're going to start like we usually do for those first timers who are here on our show who haven't been on the show before, either here locally, Savannah, Richmond, here, or all over the country. Because I know we send it to many people we know all over the country too. We usually start our show with our motto or vision of the show. First, my name is Craig, or some people call me Imar.
I'm Sharon, and I'm moving into Zaire.
Okay, and why don't you tell us real quickly what our motto is?
We are going to relate. It doesn't matter what our mothers say, fathers, sisters, brothers, anybody. It doesn't matter what is said. We are going to relate. But at taking the journey together, we believe in relating in a balanced way. And when we say a balanced way, what we mean is that you don't have to choose between your friend and your lover to have a relationship with. You start a relationship at friendship, and then you grow it into a lovership. And then when it comes time for the marriage or the whatever your grounds are for your relationship, you have that person all set and ready to go, your friend and your lover in one.
Your friend and lover in one.
That's
Yes,
the balance.
exactly. That good basics
Yes.
that are base that you can really stand your relationship on is friendship. We're talking about real friendship. We're not talking about associates. We're talking about real friendship
The
is a good
lasting
basis.
kind.
Exactly,
Yes.
exactly. So that's what we base our thriving relationship or healthy relationship show all about. So today, for the first time, you get a chance to learn something or hopefully take something with you. Like an old time preacher said to me one time, you can take it with you, put it in the freezer, and one day you might have to open it up again and
Take it out
use
and
it.
throw it.
Exactly. So today our topic is going to be about I wonder what will our let me get some coffee over here for this evening. What will excuse the smoke? You see that? That is just our incense. We like to burn it in our on our studio. Kind of keeps us in a good spirits and in turn making sure our ancestors are working with us. And you can see in the background we have what going up, Sharon?
We are helping people and making sure people get into the mood or the awareness of Kwanzaa coming up, because some people don't celebrate it, don't understand it, don't know what it is. But now is a good chance for us to remind you that Kwanzaa is right around the corner. It starts December 26th. And for those of you who are interested in uh, learning about it, starting your celebrations in your own community, this is just like a little reminder to get started now and get ready to move into something that is a little bit more cultural and a little different. And you don't have to choose either Kwanzaa or Christmas.
Exactly.
You can
It's not a religious thing. This
exactly.
is more of a self-esteem thing about you as an individual,
Mm-hmm.
especially African American individual, and the rights that you have as a human being to be able to go forth and
Yeah.
express yourself and connect together, even as a group
Right.
of individuals, and within your community, within our community. Yeah.
Yes. It celebrates principles that should be a part of our everyday being. It
Hmm.
should be something that, each of the principles are basic to what we should be, how we should be living our lives. And
Yeah.
so it's a good thing. And besides, the celebration doesn't start until the day after Christmas anyway. So
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I like to look at some of these principles as being positive affirmations.
exactly,
Yeah.
and they're also good. Oh, what do you call them? Cornerstones, foundations,
Mm-hmm.
things that you can build a relationship upon.
Yeah.
They should be present in your relationship building.
Okay. So we got had 3 viewers. They dropped down. I don't know if we can get some viewers back again, but we're new. It's going to take a chance to it can take a time for people to get to know us, and at the same time get to hear us. I know there's some that are maybe watching that do know us that we sent it out to on our Taking the Journey Facebook page. You can kind of see it at the bottom. I think it's there at the bottom. Let me make sure here. Well, let me put this ticker up here. Now, this is the different social networks you can go to and catch us on Take a Journey
Mhm.
Facebook page. And of course, we're on Instagram too at the same time. So these are the places that you can go to and get a chance to see what we did in the past. I guess we put on some, what did we do in the past? We did.
Oh gosh. Besides the radio show,
Yeah. How
we
about the
have
WOW
done.
program
That's
we
what I was
did?
just getting ready to say. We've
Mhm.
done a wow uh, program. I don't. I think we should call it something else, but program
Mhm.
for now,
Mhm.
where it stands for waves of the water, and COVID kind of messed with that one.
Mhm. But
Uh,
we had
we
one
had one
at
Peruvian
a
restaurant.
restaurant where we
Yeah.
invited some couples came out and they had a
Hmm.
chance to be really be part of an event where they got to know one another
Yeah, and
much
it's
more.
it's very interactive.
It is. It got to know one another
Hmm.
very closely and got to feel each other out to check to see if they really are friends as a basis of the
Hmm.
relationship, or maybe there was nothing at all.
Right.
And we had some questions they asked, but then we played a game. I'm not going to tell you what the game was. We played a game, but it was very exciting. Music there. They had dinner. We certainly are looking at trying to do that again. We just are looking for a good local restaurant, especially in the Savannah area. If you know of any local restaurants, hey, we got an email up there, ttjt at takingthejourney-together.com. Please make sure you text us there, or excuse me, email us there and let us know. We'd love to be able to do this, and I guarantee you, anybody who comes out as a couple, you're going to enjoy it. It's going to be
Yes.
something that's going to build your relationship up much stronger. And no doubt today, with COVID and the politics, and people just not getting along very well in relationships, such
and
a
and the
polarity and gap.
and the insecurity and the uncertainty of what's going to go on from
Mm-hmm.
day to day. So many people's lives have been turned upside down
Mm-hmm.
and turned around, and it's like, how do you get back on track? And you cannot.
How about why should I get back on track,
That too.
or even get on that in the first place? I know
Yeah.
somebody I was talking to just yesterday, young man. He was saying, "Man, I ain't getting back no relationships again. I don't see any reason why."
Yeah, see, and that's, unfortunately, some people are having those same attitudes when
Mm-hmm.
they have been in a relationship for a long time,
Mm-hmm.
because things have changed, so they don't know how to get back on track. But if you really want to secure your relationship and be invested in your relationship and get the dividends from that investment, you're going to look for ways to pull it back together.
Yeah, I think I'm talking to an older person. He was saying, and then older people gonna say that, and we're so young. Anyway, that is, they look at the relationship as being a throwaway item.
Yes.
If I can't get what I want, like my shoes picked up for me beside my bed,
Right
then
now.
right now you got to go. You
Yes.
gone. You got to
Yes.
go,
You're
and
replaceable.
you're replaceable. How society is making things obsolete,
Hmm.
replaceable,
Yeah.
nothing with no real value
Right.
or depth to them. And so we're treating our relationships the same way. And there's no doubt about it in our community, especially African American community, the need for us to take our relationships, let alone ourselves, with more value than what other
Hmm.
people do when it comes to
and
value.
and
Is
seriously,
yeah, yeah.
that's one of the problems. We don't see ourselves as serious and viable. We are the jokesters, the clowns, the
Hmm.
the entertainers.
Entertainment, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't mean like, singing and dancing. I
Mhm.
mean, you just kind of goof off and don't do things to raise yourself to that next level.
Exactly. And there's
Buffoonery, that's what I'm looking
before,
for.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Well, there's a saying my uncle used to say to me: if you don't take yourself up serious, you can't really expect anyone else to take you serious.
Exactly.
And
You
I
set the standard, you set the
exactly.
stage.
Now you don't want to get too serious in your relationship, otherwise, ain't gonna be no laughing, ain't gonna be no
No.
funniness, and anything like
And
that.
it's
But yeah.
okay to joke and goof off and
Hmm.
and get into foolishness. in your relationship,
Hmm.
but you don't need to take that and make other people feel like that intimacy that you have with your partner is okay for everybody, because
Hmm.
that's putting yourself on a lower level.
Yes, yeah, exactly, exactly. So let's go right in quickly into our um, topic today. Our topic there. We have plenty of topics, of course, we would talk about, but this is our foundational topic, which is called hot. That's our foundational topic. So from that end, let's go ahead and ask anyone out there. And of course, you can always text us if you want. What do you think is being hot in the relationship? What
Is
is
a hot
hot relationship? Yeah,
relationship.
that's the word. What's a hot relationship? Now, this is a very foundational structure, key pillar in a healthy, thriving relationship. It really is. So if you got a chance, and you want to text us real quickly. What do you
Or
think hot is? What's your idea? What your thought is? We'll give you a couple of seconds, couple of minutes, and if you can't, we're going to get right into it, and we're going to talk about what being hot is. And I'll
yeah,
be honest with you, the acronym did not come from me. This acronym came from this beautiful lady right next to me. She is the one that came up with the acronym. Okay, we got one person, someone by the name of. Let me see if I can put that up there. Or maybe our what's his name can put up
engineer.
there. Engineer, can you put that up there? Oh, I did. Or did I do it already? Oh, I did.
Okay, there you
There it
go.
is. Thank you. It says, what is it?
I'm hot and I'm looking for a hot partner.
Oh, sucky, sucky. That's the
Okie
old saying.
dokie.
Somebody out there is listening. They're seeing. Somebody's out there smelling too. But no, we not. That's not it. But that's pretty close. That's pretty close. Come on, somebody else, give us what they think what hot is.
Now, see, and even though you said I came up with the acronym, you are the one
Don't give it away. What? Now what?
who has the principle.
Oh, the
You
principal.
devised the
Yes.
principle.
Yes, I did. Okay,
You
so
know,
one more. Who else out there wants to text us and give us what they think is hottest? I'll be honest with you.
you
The
can be.
engineer behind, he's waiting to hear what hot means his own self because he was interested.
You get it right, you can be the first one to get a hot button when they come hot
Yeah,
off the
that
presses.
exactly.
Yes.
We're making buttons that's gonna be put any place you want. It's gonna say hot
Hot.
H.O.T, and we'll start a conversation once you find out what
Maybe,
hot really
and
means.
maybe that's how you'll find that hot partner. Uh-huh.
Woo,
See?
that's a good idea.
Mm-hmm.
Man or woman, yeah, you'll see. Okay,
Yes.
so well, I think we get it. I gave enough time. And Donnie Black did a good, job at least starting things out. I know we're new, so people are a little nervous about
And
sure.
thank you for participating. We like the
Exactly.
call and response type of thing.
Exactly.
That's who we
Exactly.
are.
Though we're going to give a lot of information and knowledge that is for you to take in, and it's going to
Yeah.
be good, nourishing, flowing information and knowledge that will really help you out to take your relationship to a higher level, to take your relationship and upgrade it, and to move it so it can be even that much more healthy if that's what you're looking for. So it's just not just for men, it's not just for women, it's for everybody that's in that relationship, that intimate relationship, where you're
Mhm.
married or not, that you want to move forward
Yeah.
as in a way that you're going to be healthy, more friends with one another. Okay, so
And even, I'm sorry, just one
go ahead,
one
bro.
other thing. Even if you're just starting a relationship with somebody, these principles are things where you can get them moving in the at the ground floor level, where you can start putting your relationship uh on that level of, we're going to be thriving. If we're going to be together, we're going to be thriving, and these are some of the things that we need to take into consideration as we're going
Moving
through
forward.
building
Oh
this
yeah, yeah,
relationship.
building power. I think another words people call it is power couples. I think I heard some young folks say it called power couples.
Yeah, but you got to work to get to a power couple.
Well, no doubt about it. No doubt about it. But I just heard that before. That's what someone was
Yeah.
saying. Hey, it's a power couple thing. Okay. So I'm going to let you go ahead and now tell everybody, because I know they're waiting. What does HOT stand for?
Hot stands for honest, open, and transparent. Honest, open, and transparent. H, honest. O, open. T, transparent. I feel like I'm back in school. But
She's an English school teacher, by the way. So
so
she's going to play that all along as you get to know us for. She's
I
going to correct me many a times, but that's all right.
but I get into that mode because I'm there all day, and yeah, I do it without thinking. I've been doing it too long.
So, Donnie Black, you have found out HOT one of our first strong glues in a relationship, because you have to have a glue to put people together to make that connection, especially when you don't even know each other. So you got to have that glue, and one of the glues that you have to have is I see he shot out and said, I'll let the engineer take care of this for. I'll leave it alone.
Open as in what exactly?
We are going to talk about that real quickly.
Wait a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Donnie, you just jumped right over honest and, and went straight to open.
Because I hope his mind wasn't on hot that most people think about when they hear hot. I hope he was, because he'd be wrong.
So okay, we're gonna get to open.
Okay.
But you really need to be honest before you do anything else. If your
Yes.
relationship is not built on honesty, um, your relationship is not going to be very strong to start
No.
with.
No. So honesty, we'll start out with honesty. Honesty. Take your pens and papers out. Take your computer out. Take your phone out. Get your ears to listening. Make sure you use some good listening skills, because you're gonna learn something today, just as much as we have been learning as we practice it,
Yes.
because it's on the job training. Especially if you're talking about trying to upgrade. Especially when you're talking about
Mhm.
trying to bring balance. It's an on the job
It
training
is.
thing. That's what relationship is all about, and that's
Constant
what life
work.
is all about too.
And it's hard work too.
It is.
You're not gonna fall into a relationship and everything is gonna be smooth sailing from the
No.
very beginning or in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
It's not gonna be smooth sailing. They're gonna be smooth sailing times. There are gonna be times when you can just kind of lean back on that little boat and
Mm-hmm.
let the
Mm-hmm.
the flow of the ocean just take you where you need to go.
Lean back with my mind on my
Uh,
money and my money on my mind. No, I'm
or
just
or my mind on my mate and my mate on
okay.
my
Okay.
mind.
Yeah, that too. All
See?
right, babe. Okay. So honesty, not knowingly giving misinformation. I'll say it again. Not knowingly giving misinformation. That's right. One of the things of being honest is that you do not knowingly give misinformation. Yes. And thank you, our engineers. He said honesty.
Hey,
I like that. He got the Y at the
exactly.
end. Honesty. But many of us have in relationships where when we first come in a relationship, we play a card game. That card game. In fact, it's that remember that song called Know When to Fold Up? Know when to something and know when to, walk away. You can't count these blessings when you're at the table. It's time to bless something. And anyway, that song was actually
In
written
case
by that was actually written by
Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie. He
Yes.
actually wrote that song, and the other country guy played it. But
And
anyway,
in case you haven't heard our
mhm,
show on WRUU, he will break out into song
all the time. That's just
at
me. I
any
love music.
particular time.
Audio
So
engineer, play the drums, so I love music. So we find out many times when we go into relationships, we take our best ambassadors with us anyway. Many times
mhm.
doing the courtship period. So many times we'll hide some of the things we know about ourselves, especially the bad parts, and we hide those cards, and we don't let no one know about it because we want them to open up their cards. So
Mhm.
we know how to handle them or how they're going to handle us. On this case, if they're going to handle us, we're like, we don't want to deal with you.
Yeah.
But that's what we do. That's the game we play, the cards.
But if you know that you're hiding something, if
Hmm.
you know that you're hiding bad things about you or negative things about you or things that you don't want anybody to know about, you're not being honest. If there's some things about you that you're not sure or you don't know or you haven't come across, that okay, you've been living alone and you don't know that you snore so loud at night that your neighbors are upset
That's what
three
she
three
does.
doors down.
3 doors now. No, no,
No,
no, I'm
no,
not joking. But you do
no.
snore. But anyway.
Yes. And so the thing of it is,
Hmm.
if you don't know this
Hmm.
and you don't tell that person when you're in a relationship,
Hmm.
you're not being dishonest because it's something you don't know.
Hmm.
But if you know that you snore so bad that you're gonna need that your mate's gonna need earplugs, then it is definitely time for you to either be honest or step away
Hmm.
because sooner or later it's gonna come out.
Yeah, it's sooner or later. And there's always that principle, spiritual principle, which I got to bring up, which is called reaping and sowing.
Hmm.
You are going to sow what you reap. Are you going to reap what you sow? Excuse me.
Yes.
So you got to be very careful in when you're applying honesty, as you should be. then you don't have to worry about, covering up, making up, remembering what you said before that you really didn't mean in the first place. That's one thing for sure. So knowing, not knowing, and giving misinformation is just another word of seeing someone's being. What's the other word I was saying?
Disingenuous.
Disingenuous. Yeah,
Yes.
disingenuous. And many times in some of our relationships, that becomes a manipulation game that we play big time. I remember growing up talking to some of my boys I grew up, some of them I even know right now. That game, man, you don't never tell your woman what really is going on. You don't never tell her what you really feeling, what you really thinking. You always keep it to yourself. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, on both sides, you get
Mm-hmm.
the what he doesn't know don't hurt him, or what she doesn't know don't hurt her. Yes, it does.
Mm-hmm.
It truly does, because whatever, as the saying goes, whatever is in the dark will sooner or later come to the light.
Goes around, come around.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
goes around, come around. So, I mean, if we're going to look at this strong glue, the strong foundation, you want a strong relationship, you're going to have to first know that you need to, be honest about things. Don't miss information. Don't miss that information. You got the information. Don't let her or him miss this information. Now, we'll be talking about later on how you can deal with your delivery and what are some things to make sure as being a good listener, and at the same time look at some things to do to make sure that that problem is solved, that problem is looked upon
Hmm.
in that relationship, because certainly you can't think going in a relationship that everything's going to be in such a way there ain't going to be no problems. I know they
Exactly.
gave that, white knight shiny armor. I mean, you come together and you go over, the sun goes down and all that. So that ain't real.
Riding off into the sunset.
That ain't real.
We grew up on that fantasy and that fairy tale,
Mm-hmm.
and um, it's just one of those things that nobody said, okay, baby, that is just make believe. It's a good, easy way to end the story, but you don't want your story to end. You want
Yeah.
your story to
Big
continue.
yeah.
There's another day after they went over the horizon,
Mm-hmm.
and it might not have been that pretty.
Exactly. They could have tripped over the edge of the earth and then fell in.
Exactly. Exactly. The horse might have stepped in a hole,
Yeah.
so it's, and they ended up walking the rest of the way. You just don't know. And they stop us there. We've got to stop that.
Mm-hmm.
We have got to get our right, ourself right, so that we can turn around and make and help our children be right. Because if our relationship is down the toilet,
Mm-hmm.
guess whose relationship is going to follow? Our children's, because they don't have an
if
example to
if if you
follow.
have some, they'll be looking up to you all the time. I
Yes.
always say that when it comes to relationship, there's no such thing as perfect anyway. There's really no such thing
Hmm.
as perfect in life whatsoever. I don't know who came up with that, but it's really not. So it's really all about trying to find balance in life when it comes to life itself. Finding your balance on this earth school while you're here is part of the lessons for you to learn. And so we're giving you some information that's going to help you out, that we apply, we've seen in life, and in turn we believe it will be very strongly to help you out in life applying these kind of balance kind of information nuggets, knowledge, whatever you may want to call it. Okay, so we'll go on to the next one. In honesty, telling the truth as you know it about what? Factual events.
Yeah.
Telling the truth as you know it about factual events.
Yeah, and that's a hard one, because
Hmm.
when you're dealing with two people, each person has their own perspective. And sometimes you just have to respect the other person, and accept that you're not going to see eye to eye on those events,
Hmm.
because you're bringing different things to the table. And so, if I'm were to say that I said the sky is blue turning green,
Hmm.
and I'm like, no, I really didn't say that. I said the sky is blue, not green. And he could say, "Oh, but I heard you say turning." We could stand there and argue forever in 16 days. Or I could say, "Okay, but now we're looking at it and we both see it's blue and it's not turning green, so we can agree on that." So you have to understand that the factual events also sometimes come from where you are. But if they are not,
Hmm.
that's one of that example was one of those that
Well,
is
I don't remember the sky in such a way of what you're saying, but if you could give me a better example than that, that'd be cool.
okay.
Because we're talking about in
Yeah.
this case, the truth according to what we know it.
Okay.
So give me
All
an
right.
example.
Here's a good example.
Mm-hmm.
I'm when We are sitting watching a movie,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm talking, 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 talking,
Which
talking.
you don't usually do. It's me, but yeah.
Exactly. And well, okay, so and this comes from a
Uh-huh.
difference in background and where you come from
Uh-huh.
sometimes. So this is one of those
Yeah, I'm
things.
used to talking to movies, man. We used to go to movies. We talking at the screen, throwing stuff at the screen. We never let a movie go by without not saying anything. And then when at
Hooligan.
home, my hooligan, what the? I gotta watch my language
That,
because I don't know if my engineer told me I gotta watch my language. But
well,
hey,
you know,
I
that's
came up that way
you
when it
know
comes to
that's
that.
but
And
that's
my
what
uncles, whenever I watch TV with them, they always talk over shows. They never let a show go by without correcting what was going on, so that you wouldn't
yeah.
think everything you saw was an actual fact. So that's
Yes.
just how that
Yeah,
goes.
and
Yeah.
that's fine. I just said that because you said throwing things, and that's
Okay.
what the old people would have said.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah. Whatever.
Yeah. See?
That's close to being a hoodlum, but that's all right. I'll let you go on that one.
Exactly. That's what they would have. They would have called the
Yeah.
children that who
Exactly.
were throwing things
Exactly.
at the screen.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, but okay. So I'll change it around then. You're
Mm-hmm.
talking, talking, talk,
Mm-hmm.
but I want this relationship to be fine. And
Mm-hmm.
so you're talking, and I'm missing the show,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just talking back with you, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
missing the show, and inside I'm like, gee, I think I would have liked this movie,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm talking to you, and your conversation is more drawing, because I'm trying. I've got my good ambassador here,
Uh,
and
uh-huh.
so
I've seen you do that on some of the movies you watch. You got the same facial look too. That's exactly how you look when we're watching some movies. I could tell. You think I don't know that
oh yeah,
you don't want me to be talking so you can watch the movie?
you know.
I know.
But that's okay. I've learned to use that other ear too. But see,
Okay.
here's the thing.
You're the sister girl,
But
like
as
my
soon
mom.
as
You're me way behind.
yeah,
You still listen to me.
but as soon
Mm-hmm.
as the courtship is over,
Mm-hmm.
it's now all this time I've been sitting there going,
Mm-hmm.
okay, oh, this is nice. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
let's talk. Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as the courtship is over, it's, will you shut up so that I can watch the movie? Why do you always have to talk through
Well,
the movie?
hold.
And so what that
Okay, what?
is the factual event didn't happen in the first place, because I could have said in the beginning, baby, I'd rather watch the movie. Can we talk during the commercials?
Okay, well, hold on for a second. The courtship's been over between you and I, and you still ain't said what you just got through saying.
Yeah, because I have learned to deal with it. It's not that big of a deal to me.
Oh, okay,
So
okay. So,
yeah.
okay, I was gonna say, because if you ever have talked with me like that before that way, I'd be totally shocked.
Yeah, if it was that big of a deal to
Uh huh.
me, I would have.
Or what movie would be a big deal to you that you would, make sure that if we were watching together,
Um,
I would, be cut off
I'm
by
not
you.
sure.
You're not sure?
I'm not sure because
Do,
I'd
do we need to
rather
find out?
not really, because I would rather, I'd rather read a book than watch the movie.
Okay,
So
okay,
it's like,
okay,
I'm
okay,
okay with that. And
okay.
plus, as much as I have to say this, and this is not my ambassador. This is the real deal.
Oh, real deal.
Yeah, the things that you talk about are really compelling, and
Mm-hmm.
they're really interesting.
Mm-hmm.
And you
But
know,
not doing certain shows you want to
well, I'm
watch.
not sure which one that would be.
Well, we watch a lot of compelling shows too
I
at the same
know,
time.
I
So,
know. So it's kind of hard to
uh-huh.
say, because it hasn't happened where I'm like, just hush, okay?
Uh,
Where inside I'm feeling that.
so what do you think about the show we watched with excuse me, Forrest Whitaker? He helped me say Florence. He would hate me.
Which one?
The one that has to do with Holland. What's it called?
Oh, The Godfather.
Godfather. I love the Godfather Holland.
Um,
I like the. Yeah, I didn't
it
think he was. But I like the Godfather.
it's
They can do another season too, so I'm
oh
gonna be
good.
watching it.
I mean, it's a good
Uh
show,
huh.
but it's not to the point that I would just as soon.
What?
I would rather watch it than listen to you. That's what I'm saying. It's
Oh, okay,
so
okay.
yeah, it's okay.
Well, okay.
But
Well, those who like the Godfather, excuse me, what was it?
yeah, The
If
Godfather of Harlem.
Harlem, then watch it. That's what I got to say.
Yeah, and it
You'll
is
enjoy
good.
it.
It's a good show, and
I hope it comes back on again too.
it's a compelling show,
It is.
and it's a good way. And that's one of the things that I think we do with it
Mm-hmm.
is we start looking
Well,
at
I like Forrest
how
Whitaker from way back when
yeah.
he played Ghost Dog way back then, which was a good movie. He played
Mhm.
way back then. Of course, he started in that Vietnam movie way back when he was with I forgot who that actor. He started acting at 17 years old.
I
Come think
know.
of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I've been always like
Yeah.
love that brother and how he acts. So that's how that goes. Okay, anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, but he's, like I say, it's good,
Mm-hmm.
but it's also a good way to talk about the reality of those times and the
Mm-hmm.
things that were really going on there, because it's fact-based fiction.
Mm-hmm.
And so we can, you know, we can see it in what's not exactly true, but we can see the merits and the
Mhm.
good
You
parts of
see
it.
see how I got you into this conversation? Talk
I
about that.
Yeah,
So
and we're not watching the movie.
exactly. So what's our next one that has to do with honesty? What's a next issue, concern of knowledge that we want to put up about hot? We're only with hot folks, so we're
Yes,
not going to get through all of this because we want to be back again. We want you to come back again. So we
and
won't
get the
get through
rest.
all of hot, but we're going to get a lot of it done today, at least on the honesty side.
Yes,
Honestly, we're going to get through the honesty
honestly,
side. So
yeah.
what's another part of hot that we're
Telling it doesn't always feel good at the time. Yet it
mm.
doesn't mean being rude, unkind, or aggressive when giving it. Like saying, "Will you shut up so that I can watch the movie?"
Ooh,
That's rude. That's not the way to
ooh,
do it. It's
ooh.
that's a just because you're close to somebody doesn't mean you have to be rude to them.
I am probably guilty of not being also um, ambassador like in my delivery. I'm doing pretty good right
You,
now,
I was
ain't
getting ready to
it?
say
When it comes,
that sounds like a good ambassador
I,
right there.
yeah, I'm not always good at being a good delivery of that way, and I'm being honest, and you already know that I'm
Yeah,
not that good about being that delivery
yeah.
way. I'm even studying right now when I think about
Exactly.
it.
It's just that in your mind you have
Hmm.
to go, while you're delivering, you
Hmm.
just have to say, mm, talk to the hand, and just let it just kind of keep rolling. And so there's different ways to handle different things, but at some point you always have to be honest. And like I said, it doesn't necessarily feel good in
Hmm.
that moment,
Hmm.
but it's how you deal with it. If somebody is telling you something that you don't like, then that doesn't mean that you have to come back at them with growls and claws. It's just like,
Yeah, you hurt me, so I'm going to hurt you back, which happens
but
a
I'm gonna
lot.
hurt you worse.
Exactly, because
Yeah.
I'm the real victim and you're not.
And not only that,
Hmm.
I know your Achilles heel, and I will cut you to the bone with my
Mm,
words.
mm, mm,
That's not good, because all of those things are going to come back and haunt you. you know
mhm.
eh, whether it's in the person trusting you, whether it's in the person continuing to be honest with you, whatever. There are consequences to everything, and you really have to understand that these are some of the things are um, that could possibly ruin a relationship, that when you're not honest in that way. But you've got to
Or
also
ruin the night if you were trying to get romantic. That would ruin the night real quickly.
completely. Yeah.
Yeah, that would really,
Yes.
ruin nice. And
Yes.
hey, I have to admit that there's been some times that the mood was there and turn off the lights. There's a candle. I'm like, turn off, girl. And no, oh shoot, then it's done.
Yeah.
She's like, nah, I don't want to do with you no more. From then, so I mean, I think it's important. I do know there was some friend of mine, I can't remember, who used to say you can't catch you catch a fly with honey. I think that's what they said. Yeah, you can
Yeah,
catch a fly with honey.
that's kind of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not gonna say what it really is.
Well, then it's the wrong way. Anyway, what they were saying is if you use some better words that are more
Hmm.
compelling,
Yeah.
then in turn a person would listen to you more. Oh, I even said it
Hmm.
the way such a way
Yeah.
that was more compelling.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's what they were telling me that I should try more. And some of us out there know we need to try that in our own relationships.
Yes.
Sometimes we're too, we're too rough. We're rough riders. We're gonna talk because it's rough rider time. You got to,
Yes.
girl. You ride or die. And that sister may feel it, and sometimes she ain't gonna feel it, and vice versa. So,
And I just want to throw one thing out here real quick that we
hmm,
haven't said, for Donnie and anyone else who's out there. If you
hmm,
have a statement or a comment or something, question or whatever,
yeah, please.
please feel free to put it in, and we will definitely address it and speak back to you, because that's what we like to do.
Yes, and we know that a lot of this information is kind of new. Plus, at the same time, you're getting used to us, and this is how we go back and forth because of that friendship thing. We do this whether you're on the camera or not, as we do with our other shows. It's just
Yes.
now you're seeing us from that end. But this is how we roll. This is how it we should be. So being not being rude, unkind, or too aggressive is what she's trying to bring into. And I
Exactly.
know a lot of us, some of us guys, are kind of rough around the edges when it talks to a women. Some are smoother than me, but I think it's important. There's now some women out there who just as
Exactly.
raw,
And
just as rough.
that's what I was just getting ready to say.
Hmm.
You know, when you start talking to as a woman, you start talking to your mate as the same as you talk to the children, and you
Oh
are
wow,
gruff
I'm a
with him.
grown man, dog.
Exactly. You do not want to do that. You've got to keep things in perspective. And
Hmm.
so, you know, when you are are chastising or correcting a grown man,
Hmm.
you can't do it like you do a 6-year old
Hmm.
or a 15-year-old.
Hmm.
You've got to handle it in a different way. You've got to keep that honesty, but you honestly need to do it in a way that respects who he is and how old he is and what he has been through and the fact that he may know more than you,
Hmm. Hmm.
or you know, he is your equal,
Hmm.
and therefore you should talk to him the way you would talk to
Now you're
yourself.
bringing that word called respect, which we'll talk about later on
Yeah.
too, in that particular case. I
Yeah.
think also too, not mean to cut you off.
No, that's
I think also how comfortable will that person be to actually hear what you said, which is in the area of being a good listener,
mm-hmm.
has everything to do with how well you are delivering that. You know what I'm saying? If
Yes.
you're delivering something in a way where there's poison in it, some people, if they hear it, they're gonna hear nothing but the poison.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just gonna be like, run, 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 run your mind,
Yeah.
and they ain't hearing nothing
Yeah.
else you said, but whatever anger and stuff that's in them, or you might be transferring on them. That's all they're gonna hear.
And sometimes that's because of the background. The
Mm-hmm.
person's background is such that they've had a lot of that negativity thrown at them,
Mm-hmm.
and now all of a sudden here you come with more. I'm not going to be honest with you
Mm-hmm.
because I don't want your negativity coming at me all the time. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm going to say exactly what you want to hear, how
Mm-hmm.
you want to hear it. And I'm going to do that as long as I possibly can. And then when that doesn't work any longer, then I'm going to ease on out the back door.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. Sometimes you got those relationships where one person is doing all the talking, the other person ain't
Mm-hmm.
even listening at
Yeah.
all.
Yeah.
And they do that thing.
But
Mhm.
they're pretending.
Yeah,
So
exactly,
they are
exactly.
not being honest.
Exactly. They're
Yeah.
definitely pretending.
Mm-hmm.
I always call that relationship where, I'm doing my thing, you doing your thing, and we're getting along. And then there's
Yes.
some people,
Or
I'm doing my
we're
thing, and
pretending
I'm
to
doing
get.
your thing, and you're at the end. We're
Mm-hmm.
pretending we're getting along. I
Yeah.
like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that happens a lot of relationship. Okay, so we're moving right along. Hopefully, you're enjoying our show. Hopefully, you're enjoying the first time that you've had a chance to listen to us. This is how it's going to be like. This is how we're going to roll most of the time when we talk, and we deliver through our banter, through our friendship with you. So you'll be just like if you was right here sitting with us, and this is how we would deliver what we're trying to deliver to you.
And
This is our delivery way of being able to,
and
say what we
believe
need to say or what we feel.
exactly. And believe it or
Mm-hmm.
not, we have missed a lot of movies because we have gotten into a conversation like this, bantering back and forth on the
Mm-hmm.
sofa in front of the TV, and all of a sudden we look up and the credits are rolling, and we're like, you want to start that movie all over again?"
Hey, there ain't not too many movies and stuff out there anyway in the first place. They're doing much for us or kids or for
Mm-hmm.
relationships. I mean, a lot of misrepresentation, a lot of lies. I mean, there's just not anything that's really representing us
Right.
as people and how we relate to one another, especially in a positive way. You just don't see it much at
Mm-hmm.
all from that end, sadly. So if we were not paying attention, oh well, it's their loss from the end. It's definitely not our loss from that end. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Okay, so here's our last one in the hot
The
glue portion
honest.
on
Yes, we
honesty.
call this the hot glue portion
Hmm.
because if you are any kind of a crafter or anything, you know what hot glue is.
Hmm.
Hot glue will keep almost anything together.
Hmm.
You use it, you can put things up on the wall, you can put crafts together and things of that sort. So hot glue is like the gorilla glue before there was really gorilla glue that most people knew about. So that's why we call hot the hot glue portion of
Hmm.
a thriving relationship. And then
Hmm.
there are other things that we build onto it, and the hot glue keeps it together.
All right.
So that's why he said hot
That was
chocolate.
good. I enjoyed it. I
Thank
actually
you.
listening to
Thank you.
it. um,
Honestly?
Yeah, yeah, I honestly do. I honestly do. Someone put a love heart up there. So thank you for the love heart. For that makes us feel good. The first time
Yes,
we're
thank
doing this,
you.
we got between 3 to 5 people are still listening and looking, and hopefully there's some people that are new or some people that we already know from that end. I want to also let you know that we also the founders of Unity and Community. We've been doing for the last 5 years or 6 years in Savannah down on River Street. That event that's been going on every third weekend of the month. So if you ever went down there the last 4 or 5 years, third weekend of the month, and you saw a whole bunch of African American and other entertainers on the stage and a whole bunch of archicraft people, that's our event. We also did the first Martin Luther King parade in Richmond Hill in 2019. So we did a lot of things together as a power couple, as they call that, giving back into our community because we be very strongly that we should give back in the community. That's part of the purpose and our connection together. And one thing is for sure, you got to find a purpose in your relationship.
Yes.
You got to find a purpose for yourself in life. But then when you get together and you relate with the other person, then it is even that much more of a should, want, and a can
Yes.
of finding a purpose for you both to do. And then it becomes something that comes much more expansion, much more and more important, hopefully, than what you could do by yourself. We call that interconnectivity, to be honest with
Yes.
you. And we'll talk about that some other
And
time.
and we're all about trying to change people's perspectives, change the minds when we're talking about the negative mindsets and the negative stereotypes that are out there. We definitely want to make sure that we can do something to uplift and move. Thank you, Donnie.
Yes. And there's a guy named Kelly, Mike Kelly. He said he liked the show too.
Thank
Wow.
you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. There it is.
Yes.
Okay. So you
So
were going to move on to the last one because you're
yes,
not.
I
Oh,
thought you
I'm
were getting
sorry.
ready to say that.
No, go ahead. Why don't
Okay.
you go ahead and start it?
The last
By the way, I love it when we get males who in turn like our show. We really do. And nothing against the females whatsoever in the female energy. It's just a lot of times I hear in relationships that a lot of males feel like I'm not getting the fair end of the stick. I'm not, and I'm fact, sometimes I'm getting the stick over my head, and I'm not feeling like it's being fairly treated for me in the relationship. And I'm the kind of person in my relationship, I'm really giving as much as I can. I'm really trying to, in turn, tell this lady that I really want to relate and be a friend to him. And there's some things I wish I could say, I wish I could do, wish I could be able to present. Where we're going to help you out with that. That's what this is all about. We're going to help some of you males out so that you are able to be able to deliver that. So I always say to you, make sure you bring your female partner that's in your relationship, married or not, and let them listen to the show. And of course,
listen together.
exactly, listen together. And plus, at the same time, I'm going to find this here in a minute. I think it's a banner here that has to do with a show that we do. We also do. I'm thinking, where is it at? Right here. I'm not for sure.
I don't know.
No, it's right here at the bottom. Oh,
Oh,
no, that's not it. That's something he put. Where's it? Where's it at?
well, we're going to get to it in a minute. But the
Hmm.
thing of it is the things that you do together
Oh, here it is.
early in your
Right
relationship.
here, 10 a.m. on Saturday, show that we do,
Yes.
WRUU. Yes, we're at 107.5 or WRUU. There's a link down there. You can always go to our show. We've been doing it for about 2 years. You can go back to our past archives and look at our past shows that have been there for about 2 years. So we have a lot of information, a lot of knowledge that we have consistently put out in this area relationship. We're looking forward to be able to share that now with you where you can actually see us instead of just hearing our voice.
Yeah, so we two platforms. That's I never expected that, but I should have expected that because the way we work together,
Mm-hmm.
things tend to grow and come about in a good way.
You used to tell me
And
like that movie called Robots. See a
see a
need?
need, fill a need. I love that movie.
I like it too. It was pretty cute. It was definitely pretty
It
cute.
definitely was. So, and here I am. I'm doing
Okay.
just what the next one says.
What's that?
Saying the truth whenever you're asked. I think I
Mm.
wasn't asked, but I told it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Love the movie, and I also like the fact that you being the visionary that you are,
Mm-hmm.
you have a way of enabling me to catch the dream and move with the dream, and that's exciting.
Mhm.
And so here we are dreaming again. So this
I
is
life is but a
yes.
dream.
Okay, that's song number 3. But
We-
who's counting?
well, hey, when you dream both together,
Yes.
then the possibilities
All right.
are much more expansive than what you
Yes,
could
they
do by
are.
dreaming by yourself.
Yes.
Definitely.
So by all means, uh y- welcome to the network. I'm looking for a girlfriend.
I'll put this up because our engineer didn't, but I did anyway.
I hope I wish you luck, because if you are looking, here's my first question. Are you hot?
I don't know if he got on that one. Tell him what hot is real quickly because he may not have got on that one.
Hot, honest, open, and transparent. Are you hot? And if not, get hot before you're looking for the girlfriend. Bring that hot right along, okay? But if you are, come at the ladies that you connect with from the standpoint of being hot, and make sure, and hopefully they will come along the same way. But you got to look for both of you being hot.
Exactly. And of course, the most important thing is make sure that there's someone that you really consider and they consider you as being a friend. I'm not talking about an
Yes.
associate. I'm
No.
talking about a real friend. That's got to be a foundational point, especially today, how things are going.
Yeah.
There's just such a necessary that if you're going to relate, and especially right now, where many
Mhm.
times you don't even have to,
Yes.
you're going to want to make sure that friendship is a basis there. And don't get me wrong, friendship doesn't mean that you're not going to have hard times. You're not going to get along with one another. I'm not talking about that.
Mhm.
It's a heck of a glue when you provide a friendship as being your basis for relationship. Because if you remember true friendship, whether it was another guy, another woman, or whatever, you remember friendship always had the elements of hot in it. It was
Yes.
always honest, open, and transparent.
Yes.
You could tell that person anything. You felt open about anything. You felt almost
Mhm.
honest about anything. So your relationship has to have that basis if you're going to operate in a fulfilling, or I use the word fulfilling now, but a healthy. It's really is
It is.
fulfilling. It
It
really is
is.
fulfilling. I'll be honest with you.
Yes.
But in a healthy and what we call a thriving relationship, you're
Mhm.
going to have to use that. Okay, so
Yes.
what's our last one? I mean, you may want to, but we're almost over. At least for this part of the glue called honest. What's our last portion or ingredients in honesty?
The last one, saying the truth whenever you're asked. That's what I was
Mm,
starting to get into. Got a little
mm-hmm,
bit sidetracked,
mm-hmm,
and so I might be saying this name wrong. Malvise,
mm-hmm. You say Mr. Robinson,
Mr.
Akeem.
Robinson,
Yeah, Akeem Robinson.
Roberson,
Robertson. Yes.
Mr. Roberson.
Mm.
Um,
Put up again what he's doing.
Start off by asking if she's hot, but you got to tell her what it is, because she might get the wrong idea.
And yeah, you don't want to give her the idea at the beginning, bruh. You don't. You
No.
or however you really don't want to. You'll be able to get to that in a relationship. I mean, that's not something that's going to be a problem if we're
Yes.
talking about on that physical
Yes.
thoughts. But if
You might
what
want to start off with one of the buttons and see if it
yeah,
attracts her.
and we'll make sure we have the buttons on our next particular show that you can probably order and use. But it's very important because the hot principle has something to do with inside your very
Mm-hmm.
soul.
Definitely.
That kind of energy that's
Yes.
inside you that you're going to present, just as if you was a true friend or real friend
Mm-hmm.
to somebody else.
And when I say ask her if she's hot, you can start off by saying, "I'm looking for somebody who is honest, open, and transparent."
Mm-hmm.
Just be upfront with it, because unless she has already listened to the show and knows what hot is, you want to be honest, open, and transparent with her
Mm-hmm.
right off the bat. And so when you ask that question, saying the truth whenever you're asked, you'll be able to know if she's starting off that way, and you too.
Well, this is the first time on live streaming or live period between her and I. Sharon just gave some a relationship
Did
what
advice.
advice. I was on. We were on a show with Alicia Blakely, some other place, and some people called in. There were ladies who called in. This is a guy this time. It was a guy for you, but the ladies called in when we were on that show and asked, "Oh, we're going to give advice to single people." I said, "No, not really, because we're all about trying to help people who already have a relationship." But listen, if you are single and it's a guy or a lady and you are looking for advice, I'm saying to you, you're going to get that advice here. You're going to get the
Yes.
advice here. And you might as well try to start off the right way even though if you're already in a relationship, you still can make an upgrade. You still can repair it just like you do if you got an old car, you want to repair it, you want to upgrade, you want to restore it. But you could do the same thing, and you might as well do it the right way when you start in a relationship from the beginning. So then there's an easier way down the
Yes.
road. It's easier to expand. You don't have to do that 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards,
Yeah.
or 2 steps forward and 5 steps backwards. So
Because you're
yeah,
building from the same place. You're
same
starting,
platform.
yeah,
Yeah,
exactly the same
same base.
platform.
Yeah, yeah.
And so you're building and you're going up these steps together. You might get a little ahead of one another from time to time, but you're still doing it together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
The journey, always taking the journey together.
All right, all right. So I don't know how much time we left, but I think we should.
We've got
I don't.
about,
I don't want to go into openness yet. I want to leave that as being something
yeah,
we talk about when we get our other show. Don't you
yeah.
want to do that?
Yes, yes. I don't want to. I'm with you. I don't want to start it and then leave it hanging.
Exactly.
We need to complete it just like we've completed honest. But I tell you what, we can talk about.
Well, what's that?
Wow.
Oh, okay. You're gonna talk about
Wow.
WoW again? Okay.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm.
If you are interested in having uh, a date night
Uh-huh.
with your partner, husband, wife, whatever your level of relationship that you're in. I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
at my hands as I'm counting it off on my fingers.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let us know because we're ready to put together another wow date night.
Email address right out there, TTJT together at dash together. Yeah, I just saw that. Well, or come cast again when you see it. To email us too, because yes, go
Yes.
ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, because we have a lot of fun at them, and you
Mm-hmm.
get to learn a little bit more about. Here it is, taking. No, that's not it.
It is
TTJT
TTJT
at
at
taking
taking
the
the journey
journey
dash
together.com.
together.com. Yes.
So, but the thing of it is, you get to find out about where you stand with the person that you're with, and you
They can
get to
find they can vice versa.
exactly, and you get to learn about each other.
And I got to tell them just real quickly. Hopefully, someone will be out there exciting because we got so many people at least the first time around, which is a good omen for us.
Mhm.
Is that we play a dating game, a specific kind of dating game that we came up for our taking the journey, a wow
Wow
events,
date night.
wow date nights. You'll really enjoy it. And out there too, for those who have restaurants or those who know of a restaurant who want something special and different at their restaurant, we would be glad to work with you and you work with us so that we can in turn do these kinds of events for couples out there. We need no more than
No,
5 to
five
6
or six.
at least minimum. The maximum we can do is 10 couples because it has to be very intimate. It has to be very
Mhm.
connected. So we love that. So if anybody in turn has a restaurant they would love us to be able to do this at, it'd be a win-win for us both. And of course, if you know some couples out there, please in
Yes.
turn email us and let us know. And last but not least, who's your girlfriend? She might be who used to be our marketer. She might be listening right now.
Ty.
Hello, Ty, if you're listening to us. She's way in Texas too, by the way. Go ahead.
I ask a lot of questions. This should be good. I like the chemistry you two have. Thank you, Mike. You
Exactly.
ask a lot of questions. We'll answer a lot of
Man,
questions.
Mike, I'm really proud of you too, man. You're stepping to the table to ask questions. When we do our event, sometimes we have some guys who are afraid to say anything, and there are a couple of guys who are afraid to speak up. I'm not afraid to speak up. And the one last time we did, we were there. Oh, he almost got clobbered by his wife.
Yeah. But we have fun, and it's all
Mm-hmm.
in fun and learning
Yes.
and
You were saying something
connectivity.
to Ty too.
Yes.
Don't forget it
Yes.
so she can call you and give me a hard time.
Ty,
No.
we're still at it.
Yeah.
Yes.
She way in Texas.
Yes.
Get us something down in Texas so we can come down and move Texas.
Yes, we will take WoW on the road. So and so, but
Mhm.
the date nights are things that are fun and that we
Mhm.
we need to get back together as a couple, and we need to stop doing just work, church,
Bedtime.
bedtime, and
Starting all over
oh
again.
yeah, somewhere along the line we might talk about finances and children,
Yeah, yeah.
and how to keep that together.
And then we
But
start all over again.
we need to really look at the medicine for our relationship, and
Mhm.
part of that is what we do to help each other to grow and to
Mm.
do things together. That's how we help each other
Yeah.
grow.
So it's all about sharing your life
Yes.
with that other individual, that other person, that other partner. It's all about sharing your life. So if you're not about trying to share your life, all of who you are, or all of who you can be in life, then you really don't want to try a thriving or a balanced relationship. It's not going to
No.
work. And most people are operating in surviving relationships.
Mhm.
But we're talking about a thriving relationship, a balanced relationship, a healthy relationship. You can thrive in this, and fulfillment can come to
Yes.
pass. There's some things that you could not do by yourself that you will be able to do with someone else
Mhm.
that is beyond what you can think of. This
Yes.
show is one of them.
Yes.
Between both of them, we didn't think we would be able to do this by ourselves. I know you did.
No,
No, you
never,
didn't.
never crossed my mind. I thought we were doing something when we had the blog talk.
Exactly. We did. Well, she first met me, and I was doing a blog talk on relationships years and years and years ago. I had about 5 writers who wrote for me in my blog all across the country, and I had about 100,000 people that followed us, followed me at that time. And then we went in and met together, hooked up together. That's another story we'll talk about. And in turn, we started our own blog.
Your friend had a radio show.
Oh yeah, in
and
Omaha,
said,
Nebraska.
and
Yeah.
said, put us on for his Valentine's show.
Yes.
And then decided, we got he said that they got so many
Hits,
so much
likes,
so
or
many
whatever.
hits or likes or whatever it is,
Mhm.
that he wanted us to try our own show. So we did that for about a year.
Yeah, we
2
did.
years, about 2 years we did that.
Yeah, and then I think we put a panel. Didn't we have a panel of
Yes, we
people that was
did. Yeah,
a couple of panel that helped us out
grew.
because they were calling a lot of questions.
Mhm.
And now we have just moved to mostly wanting to give information, giving
Yes.
the knowledge
Yes.
to again help you rebuild your own relationship
Mhm.
and help you take bits and pieces of this and work it your own self. Or like I said before, another preacher said, you put it in a deep freezer, and one day you want to bring it out again. So that's what we're basically doing. This is what this is all about for the first time. We're so glad to see for the first time, because our time is winding down. We're so glad to see that those who came and listened and stayed around too at the same time. I'm so glad about it. I don't know about you, Sharon.
Absolutely. I want to thank you for taking this journey with us
Mhm.
on the first time out. Thank you so much, allowing us and helping us to take the journey together
Mhm.
to another level.
And thank you, Mr. Hall, for being moved to let us be on this particular channel of yours, your channel. Wish you all the blessings, and hopefully our show can help expand yours. And yeah, Thursdays at 6
Thursdays
o'clock.
at 6, we'll be here.
Yeah, you even pushed us today. Come on, get this done. You ought to give it a try. So we're really excited about it. We really are.
That was so good.
Yeah,
So good.
definitely. So I don't know how many minutes we got left, because I know if I start another topic, we're gonna keep
No,
on
you're
going.
not, because we have like
I don't know. There's an up in the corner.
probably
See,
a
it's up
half a
there.
minute.
Oh, so this one. There it is. Up, 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 up. There it is.
Got it.
Yeah, there it is.
It's right above my head.
There you go. You did better than me. 58 in 29
Yes,
seconds.
but
Wow.
that's okay.
Mhm.
And thank you to Donnie and Mike and Mr. Roberson and everyone else who was with us.
Look at Donnie says, I'm in Tennessee
Oh
and
no,
watching the
that's
shows.
Mike.
Oh, Mike
Oh,
said, I'm
you're
in
in
Tennessee and watching
Tennessee.
the show. When I get notification, I get notified. This is when I get notified. Okay, I don't know how he gets notification. That's something that our engineer have to help you out with. Maybe
Yes.
you need to email your information to us. Give us your name, and then we can always put you on our
Or
a DM you through our Facebook too.
or just know Thursdays at 6 o'clock.
Oh, there you go. That's a simple way.
Thursdays at 6 o'clock. We're here.
Just remember, we explore interpersonal concerns and problems in dating, cohabitating, and marriage, all to build a balanced, committed relationship that are thriving and healthy. That's what we're all about here on taking the journey together. Thank you for everybody tonight. Stay blessed, be blessed. Know that your relationship is to be a blessing to you in the world too.
And continue to take the journey together.
Exactly. Wow. 39, 40.
Good night.
I don't know if it's good night yet. He's got 42 seconds. You see that right there?
See, okay.
Oh, wow.
So we just sit here and smile.
Stay hot. Stay hot. Honest, open, and transparent. 59, it's gone. Peace. Thank you.